Okay, let's assume you're not a race fan, but you're interested in the intrigue of the events. Well, let's take Alexander Rossi here. Last week in the Indianapolis 500, he was threatening to take the lead, and then he made a quick pit stop, and it was a pit stop for the ages. About halfway through the race at Indy last week, they needed a pit stop. They planned on 7 or 8 seconds to get in and out with new tires and gas. But this pit stop did not work out that way. The fuel spigot didn't work. Time after time after time, the crewmen tried to gas their car. Rossi pounded on the steering wheel, wondering what was going on. It was a total disaster. 28 seconds it took to get out of the pits, and Rossi lost the race by, get this, 0.2 of a second. So what happened? We spoke with Rob Edwards, the chief operating officer of the Andretti race team, and he filled us in.
There's a switch, an air-powered switch with air pressure. And so when you want to use the manual override, you have to overcome that air pressure. And so that's what took the time.
Rob's an engineer at heart, so he attacked the problem with cold-hearted calm.
Whatever you might be feeling inside, right, you have to project calmness to the guys that are over the wall and dealing with the situation, and calmness to Alex. So you focused on, what do you need to do to fix it. And at the end of the day, it's a mechanical problem, it's a mechanical entity, so you just tackle it logically and systematically.
We watched as the crew team pulled out its fueling hose for today's trial runs. They informed us the offending equipment never made it to Detroit. It's being tested to find out exactly what happened. Rob tells us in the high-flying world of auto racing, you can't let setbacks like this get to you.
Fortunately for us, a yellow flag came out while we were in the pits with that issue, and so that allowed us to stay in the top 5 and then retake the lead later on. Without that happening, the result would have been a lot worse.
Meantime, it's back to work for this week's race, double and triple checking everything, knowing winning at auto racing is equal parts skill, luck, and catching that well-timed break.
If the emotion gets the better of you, that clouds your judgment and you don't perform. There's a time for the emotion, which is hopefully after we win and being able to share the joy then. But the rest of the time, you have to control what's going on and keep it on an even keel.
Well, maybe the professionals can keep the emotion out of it, but when you come down here and you hear the roar of these crowds and the crowd, or you watch it on television on NBC, you can have all the emotion you want because it is exciting. On Belle Isle, Rod Maloney, Local 4.